All right. Welcome to the stream. If this stays up, then well, you'll see this in anytime you come back and check out the video. But I'm attempting to go vertical on YouTube Live. So this is my first attempt at doing vertical content on a YouTube Live. And today we're going to be talking about, well, we'll be using, if all works well, I'm going to be using Antigravity, Google Antigravity as my IDE, which is basically where I'm going to vibe code today. In the past, I've used other things, but today specifically is Antigravity because I'm just liking it right now. I don't know if it will stay that way for the long haul, but that's what I'm using right now. So I've got the agent view pulled up here on screen. I'm using Camo Studio to pipe this over to YouTube. So we'll see how this works. And specifically, I'm using YouTube. So let me see if I can pull up the stream content. Just to make sure that we're live. So give me a sec. I forgot how to manage. It's been a minute, so I forgot how to manage like my stream. Stream. Okay. I think. All right. So far so good. Health looks excellent. All right. Okay. All right. We're good. Okay, I think we're good. I've got the live pulled up on the channel. Stream quality looks excellent. So we'll just see where this takes us. Like I said, I'm experimenting with the format. So if you have questions, if you come across the stream, I have no idea like how anybody would find this on YouTube, for instance, but I'm here. I'm going to be spending some time in Remotion specifically because I've been building out applications. So jumped into Antigravity, started using skills, right? Because I haven't used Claude, kind of been an OpenAI model LLM kind of guy. And but everybody's just raving about Claude and Claude skills, and so but never really messed with skills. I was mostly building front end stuff. I saw this tweet that was interesting because it was kind of like reflects my current state of being with as it pertains to like vibe coding. So I'll just pull up the tweet so you can see it, or we can at least talk about it for a second. All right, so the tweet was from Zara Zhang, and she wrote, "I'm seeing a vibe shift in the vibe coding community from quote unquote fancy front end interactions on the web, end quote, Gemini 3 era, to quote boring but actually useful workflows that run locally, end quote, Claude Code era." So it kind of got me thinking. About like what just I built a lot of like, just as most vibe coders do. I think you just build something that looks cool, you know, spins up easily, and then you start tweaking it, and then you go on to your next idea, and you just keep building and building and building, but it's mostly like fancy front end stuff, maybe you hook up a back end if you're doing something a little more complicated. You want users, or you add authentication, stuff like that. But for the most part, a lot of my vibe coding things have been like fancy front end looking things, websites, stuff like that. So with skills in particular, I think skills in particular are interesting, especially as it pertains to anti-gravity, because, well, skills are new to anti-gravity. And so I was like, oh, well, let's just do that. Another reason, I don't know why exactly I'm explaining how I got here, but maybe it'll be useful in some context in the future. But started out, I think I was thinking about this last night, and I think I started like my automation journey with like Make, right? So once upon a time, I was trying to figure out like what to learn, you know, in terms of like automation. And I knew I try to optimize and automate everything. So I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I started looking at various tools out at the time. It was like Zapier, Make, N8N. And I was like, I sort of gravitated to Make. I just like the visual. It was just a little bit, oh, and the pricing model. That's probably why I got into Make. I didn't really understand at the time, or I felt limited by the N8N subscription model or pricing model, or whether it's hosted or in the cloud or whatever. And I just needed a lot of operations, like the ability to like run a bunch of stuff and test a bunch of stuff without, you know, going broke doing that. And at the time, for whatever reason, I just thought Make was where it was at. So I sort of just gravitated to using Make, and I still use Make a lot. But then it got into like more front end, like design stuff, you know, like I want to put something in front of the automation. So the automation runs behind the scenes, but I ultimately wanted something on the front end to look at. Fast forward, I'm just going to tell you how that led to right now. I started using Antigravity agents. Agent skills allow you to like go in Antigravity. And again, I'm sure it works similar in Claude, but I just let the agent go do a bunch of things, research, whatever, you know, go pull up a browser, go get some information, go gather all this intel, go take some screenshots, go, you know, look up some stuff and then return it somewhere. Like just go get it. And so you can have one agent do that. You can have multiple agents do it. You can string them together in a workflow and have like one agent fire off as a sequence. And then when that agent's done, it'll just like hand it off to like a baton, like a, you know, those races where you hand the baton to the next agent, or, you know, to run the next 400 or whatever it is. And so that is, yeah, that's how agents, how I see them in my head anyways. So, let's just do this. We're in Remotion, or we're not in Remotion. We're in Antigravity. And so Remotion is this thing, which I'm just sort of getting hip to, right? So Remotion is this. Let's see if it pulls up on stream. I'm just trying to figure out how long the delay is. Okay. So Remotion is, as I understand it, it basically renders React to MP4 or a video file format. In the past, I used JSON to video, which is more programmatic, I guess. I was just trying to understand the difference between like Remotion, because I just heard about Remotion, but some of the demos I've seen so far are pretty cool. And I didn't know how it worked. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just trying to figure out Remotion specifically. I installed it in Antigravity. So the way I did that was I just simply ran a terminal command, I guess. So if we look at it here, and let me just close this to get a better view, and then whatever, and then hide it. Let me see if I can toggle the primary sidebar. All right, there we go. That looks better. All right, so you just sort of, you run this sort of command right here to install it. npx create video at latest. And again, like I just sort of go with the flow. We just vibe, right? So you install it. It says you want to proceed, yes, and installs like packages and things, and then asks you if you want, Tailwind, I guess, or agent skills. Sure, why not? Tailwind's like, the front end, like the styling and stuff. So it pulls it down. It creates a skill, best practices for Remotion, I guess, video creation in React. Installs the agents, I think, in terms of like the project structure. Let's see. Can I open this? Yeah. So it gives it rules. So over here, you've got a skill, right? And so, rules. So I guess there's rules for different things. There's one specifically. So I am and just started on TikTok, right? Producing content. Well, just, fired up a new TikTok account, producing content. So whether the content ends up on TikTok or ends up here on YouTube, doesn't really matter. But you can do things like this where you have rules for TikTok style pages and word highlighting. So it'll do like captions. So this thing can probably build out captions on the fly for like TikTok content or any vertical content. So these are the things that kind of fascinated me about Remotion, right? I haven't really seen anybody do vertical style stuff. Most of the stuff I've seen is like traditional like video format, like landscape. So that's where we're at. I mean, we just installed this thing just as recap, because I was like, well, I might as well just fire up a stream and put this out there in case it's useful to anybody. Like myself, maybe in the future, like, I don't know anything about Remotion. And so it's taking me a little bit to wrap my head around like what it's doing, what it is, how you set it up, how you run it, like how it works. Because I feel like those are all things that you sort of have to understand. You have to have some context before you can like guide it, right? And so basically we're going to prompt our way to building a video. So prompt to video, like, and not like the way that you do it with like Nano Banana or any of these other video models, Veo or Sora. Different than that. This is, again, React sort of style, React components turned into video. And the closest thing I could think of, anything that I've used in the past, was like JSON to video. And I tried that in the past, but like programmatically, and again, costs wise, it was just something that deterred me from spending more time doing it. But I certainly think that there's a place for this, and we'll see what we can do with it. And so the way I set this up is so you run it, you install it, it puts all the packages here in, and then you just run it. Like you just do the thing where you're like, whatever, npm I, and then npm dev, run dev, or whatever, and then it fires up the interface, right? So you do this, you set it up in Cursor, and then the only thing that I've changed so far, or Cursor, Antigravity, the only edit I've made so far is just simply changing the canvas size to vertical. So that is it in terms of like what I've changed so far. Is the canvas size, right? So when it first fired up, it was like a 1280 by 720, like just a standard definition canvas. Now it is 9 by 16. And the file that was changed in there was this one. So if we just go here and then here and then go to the root, this is the only edit that's been made so far. Changing the width and the dimension to 1080 by 1920. And what's cool is it just sort of changes it changes this on the fly. All right. So that brings us to where we're at. All right. So long-winded sort of introduction to where we're at right now with Remotion. All right. So I don't know how much more useful or if any of that was useful, but we're just gonna hang out and I'm just gonna build and we'll see what we can do. All right, and just so I can wrap my head around again how this works. So I'm gonna put the agent back in place in terms of like agent manager, and I'm gonna put my canvas over here and then the other one over there. All right, so now what you're gonna do is see me prompt some things like actually, here, let's do this. Let's just make an agent real quick. So the way I think this is going to work is, I don't know. What should we do? Oh, maybe let's just create like a video for some pizza place, some random pizza place. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, I don't even know how I would do, because again, I'm not familiar with you know what? Let's just do it. We're going to say, I'd like to create a video, vertical video. I'd like to create a vertical video for a local pizza place. The video will feature the menu items. Okay. And we should use Remotion for the output, for the final output. All right, so I'm guessing because it installed some skills that like it knows to look for what I mean by this, right? So I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep it to planning for now. So I'm gonna leave it on planning. There's two modes here, planning and fast, and I don't know that I need high on this, but we're just gonna leave it. Yeah, we're not gonna get into a conversation about what model I'm using. I'm just using the stock Gemini 3 Pro. So away we go. Creating the conversation. And I just built this out in a Remotion folder. Just called it Remotion. I didn't call it local pizza place, but let's see what's going to happen. So it's looking at the root. It just pulled up the root file. And it was thinking, confirm the Remotion project's already open. It's thinking about it. To assess existing assets. It's looking for stuff. Now it's creating some things, I think, planning a pizza menu video. So it says it's starting the task, create a video, whatever. It's creating a video. Oh, here, we'll just open this. Okay, checking project structure, photography. All right, looks like it's creating some images. I don't know what we're gonna end up with, but this is all part of the process. That's why we vibe. And honestly, when we do this, or when I do this, I'm always curious to see how these agents are interpreting what I'm saying. I like to somewhat start with broad stroke sort of setups. Broad stroke sort of like an approach to prompting, just to get a feel for like what is going to come back. And then I go, I drill in deeper, but yeah. So we're just waiting for these images to generate, I think. I don't think I have to approve anything just yet. Oh, requires input. So I need input somewhere. It's asking for my input. Somewhere. Oh, review changes. Files changed. Source control. I don't exactly know what we're waiting for. Oh, okay. So it wants to build them. That's what happens when you run a screen that's so small, or when you're just running this for a stream view. You can't see like stuff that's hidden. Like you need to approve this thing. So now it's running again. I think it was just building the assets, figuring out a place to put the stuff. Yeah. And then asking for permission to basically create the directory for the things that it's creating. All right. I'm also just stress testing this stream for YouTube. In the past, I would get random disconnects. So just for context, the stream setup is Camo Studio directly to YouTube. So on my desk here in front of me, I'm running the stream through an iPad using Camo Studio. So not using OBS, for instance. This is just Camo Studio has a free app on iPad, which allows me to do sort of like a couple of different inputs. So my head's getting cut off on this one, but I'm still in the picture. So, all right, let's take a look. What happened? Okay, it's going to put all the things somewhere. Copying assets. All right, so it just looks like it built out a bunch of things. Let's look at the implementation plan, shall we? All right, implementation plan. Create a test. Okay, so we got some nice looking pizzas. Pretty good pizzas. A rustic, like a a background component, or it looks like the background, like someplace that you would eat a pizza on. So we got the implementation plan. Let's just take a look at this. I don't know if I can make this full screen. Let's see if I can close the agent view and just look at this full screen. Whatever. I think you can see it. So it created these assets. It registered the pizza menu composition. So now it's just asking. So now it just says run npm dev to build it, right? So let's open terminal and let's see if this will work. So I'm just going to, I don't think, because I'm in agent view, we're going to close that. And then I think what we'll do is I'll try to run it in a terminal, npm, even though I think it's already working. So I'm not sure. Yeah, hold on. Maybe we got to build it. Okay, so I see it here, but hold on. Let's see what it says. So manual verification. Run npm and preview the video in the Remotion player. Check the animations, timing, and layout. So npm run dev. But I'm already running npm run dev. See, this is where I'm not sure what the next step is because I'm already running. It's already in the browser. So let me just close some things and we'll see if we can get this to work, I guess. All right, so I feel like you have to build it, but I could be wrong. Okay, npm run dev. Okay, so I ran npm run dev, and it just opens up this. So it's kind of where I'm at, right? So even though I've got this here, I don't have the thing that I guess I'm looking for, which is this asset, right? Or these assets. Okay, so we'll just tell it ran npm run dev, but the Remotion canvas is still blank. And we'll just see what it says. My coffee is cold, getting cold. And maybe it's because we're in planning mode. It's not actually leveraging the assets or building out the... Okay, so now it's looking at some things. We'll just close this. And installed Tailwind, or Tailwind's already been installed. Oh, it's looking at the index file or the CSS. Okay, it's editing the menu items. It built out menu item. So it looks like it built out. So it's building stuff. I can see it's building things. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I'll just show you what is running in here. All right, so on the agent side, it's doing this. Well, this is Remotion. And then over here, this is what's happening in the terminal, right? So this is still looking like this. Okay. So now we have some progress, but this is just blank now. This says composition. The composition with the ID can't be found. So it says it implemented it, but it can't find it. So that's not good. Let's see. Let's try to fix that. So we'll go back into Agent Manager. Let me just switch this from planning to fast mode and say, let's just give it the error. Because, you know, with vibe coding, that's sometimes the fastest way to get to the root of the problem. Just chuck it the error. All right, so it's looking and it's analyzing. It's doing all the things. Let me open up Remotion. It's kind of hard to manage these windows. I'm currently using a setup on my screen where I've got 3 panels on one screen, and I'm just trying to show you the best view for this style of content. Okay, let's change. Okay, so all right. Okay. All right, so it's pretty cool. All right, so we've made some progress. All is not lost. Let me just show you what's happening. All right, so apparently in looking at Agent Manager, so in Agent Manager, it basically said it moved. I was getting the composition. So basically the composition with ID was not found, right? So it was just loading it was just saying that I couldn't find it anymore. And then fed at the error, and it basically says it occurs because the Remotion player is trying to load the old composition ID. So it just renamed it. I just had to rip this off I had localhost running, but now I had to just remove my comp and go to localhost because it was pointing to localhost / my comp or whatever. And so I just removed that. And here we are. We've got a new canvas that has some things on it, which is by itself, honestly, still pretty cool. Like it created this, and we could just watch this animation. What up, anti-robot? No, not so much with the errors, or I mean with the load on the system. So far so good. I am running an older HP Omen PC, Windows PC. So nothing fancy. I think this thing's just got like 16 gigs of RAM. So it's like an average gaming spec PC from 4 years ago. Sorry, I didn't see your comment before. It got retracted or whatever. I don't know if like YouTube thought you were a bot. Maybe it's because your username is bot, but or has bot in it. I don't know. All right, so now we've got something happened here. Oh, I don't know what happened here. So anyways, we're gonna load this back up and go back here. Okay, yeah. So I guess, I don't know what happens at the end of it. Maybe it just crashes. I wasn't looking at the screen, but we can watch it here. So this, yeah, it's got the menus, but it doesn't have the images of the pizza, right? So it's got like the pricing for it, and then it's got the call out for order now, but it doesn't have the pictures of the pizza. So I think we need pictures of pizza. And it made them, they're just not showing up. So can we add, or I'm just going to tell it. Sometimes I say, can we add, but I feel like it should know that we're missing the pizza images. We're missing the pizza images. Anyways, so yeah, Antigravity, the robot, and I, the robot. What are you building in, what are you using Antigravity for? Right now I'm just messing with Remotion. I am trying to figure it out. I see a lot of people doing some cool stuff with it. In the past, I've used JSON to video, which was kind of a pain, honestly. I think it was a pain because I was trying to use Make as the back end for the automation to build it. And I just got too in the weeds with that. But with this, I think as long as you have the agent set up in Antigravity for Remotion, it just does the thing. Like it just, all right, here we go. SVG illustrations too for visuals. Yeah. So that's kind of why ultimately I just bought a subscription to I just canceled my Cursor subscription because I wasn't using Cursor as much. Only because I ended up using AI Studio. I was using AI Studio a lot. And then it just made sense at that point to jump onto Antigravity. So I wasn't using Cursor. I started rolling out a bunch of just stinking around with AI Studio, and I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And then I was like, well, let's just go full Google. So I bought the $20 a month plan. I don't know what it's called. It's not AI Ultra. It's like the AI or Google's One plan. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called. But they had a special that was like $99 for the whole year. So I was like, you know what? 2026, we're just gonna rock with Google for a little bit. All right, so this thing is still building. Let's see, I'll show you what's happening in the agent mode. All right, so here, I basically said that we're missing the pizza images, and it looks like it's trying to source them, find them, fix things. So it's verifying file usage. It's still doing the thing. So let me get the pizza back up. And yeah, SVG illustrations, all kinds of stuff. So it's like, I just feel like there's so many like things that you could do. It's really getting hard to figure out what to do. I mean, there's almost nothing you couldn't do. It's almost harder to figure out what you want to do or could do. And this morning I woke up feeling like I want to figure out Remotion. So yeah, Google is closing the gap really fast between Claude and GPTs. Yeah, I still have my so I've been trying to switch over. I'm trying to use Gemini, the regular Gemini chat agent. I still have my GPT. So I'm trying to figure out the personalization on the Gemini app, but it just loves to like latch on. Like it won't let go of the memory. It's almost like opposite of like ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be like, I don't quite remember having that conversation, but if you want to remind me, and then you have to remind it, and then it doesn't have the context. But I think with Gemini, it stores all the context, and it just wants to like talk about everything that you ever mentioned to it in each thread. And it's kind of annoying, honestly. It's a little too aggressive with the memory. But you know, I like it and I'm paying for it. So I'm just seeing if it's going to work. All right. So this pizza thing is still building. And you know, what's another interesting thing is I have no idea anti-gravity rate limits either. I'm just using the Gemini 3 Pro model on fast mode. And this thing has been building for a hot second. Like it started out with like, we're missing the pizza images. And it ran through it. It updated the pizza menu, the menu item, the TSX files, the outros. So it looks like it updated the components. But then it got into this, and this is where like anti-gravity goes off the rails sometimes. Like I just think it either goes back and tries to like do the same thing over and over, and then it gets in this rut, like it just won't get out of. So sometimes I have to like kill the process because I feel like it just, and then I'm like, how many tokens is this thing churning through while it's stuck in like whatever mode this is? So it looks like it's doing the same thing over and over. Now it's saying that there's some network issues, but it's trying to confirm visibility. Like, again, I don't know what it's doing, but I have to imagine that this is just eating tokens. So. But let's see. Let's open up Remotion and see what we've got. All right. I mean, this looks cool. This looks better. So it's got the wood in the background now. That was pretty cool. Margarita, pepperoni. Supreme. Order now. Okay. Not bad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm just mad at Antigravity for like I said, sort of just like, okay, I'm just gonna, because this is, it seems to be working, like it seems to have fixed the assets, but hold on. But it just doesn't want to let this go. I think I need a global agent skill, if I'm thinking about this correctly. In Antigravity, I need a global agent skill to stop the process. Like if it tries more than 3 times to do something and it can't do it, just to like stop. Because this thing is still re-rendering the thing. Like, oh, see, and it broke it again. All right, yeah, see, this thing is just explicitly tell it, ideation, collect, refine, then plan, breakdown, then execution, tooling. Yeah, I think I need a better framework for Antigravity. I've been using it now for about a week, a little over a week, 2 weeks. And I like a lot of what I've been able to do with it. Especially the sub agents and the browsing and its ability to like listen to the agents. But then like, this is the problem that I have. It just like, okay, so, all right, I'm just going to kill this process because it was working and now it's not working. Like it just broke itself. So this was the animation. It looked way cooler a second ago, but then it rebuilt it and it dropped. We basically ended up where we were before. So let's just tell it. Got to tell it I'm on Windows, use Windows tools. It tries to use Unix stuff sometimes. Yeah, I guess that's the issue with these agents is they just sort of have free reign, like a little bit too much free reign. I'm just gonna tell the agent we were close, but you are still missing the images after rebuilding the components. I also need a voice like whisper flow or something. Typing prompts feels so like archaic. I feel like I'm living in the Stone Age typing prompts. Remotion config. All right, so let's just try to figure out what it was doing. It honestly was in a good place and then it just broke. All right, let me see if this is on the main. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah, so it looks like in terms of like what it's doing in terminal, it's just it's building it. So Remotion, we were close now. What it wants me to, I don't know what it's doing. Generate, put the image in the assets. Sure, whatever. Let's see. Robot says use Windows native voice to text, enable it with WinG, pretty decent. I use it for, oh cool, I gotta try that. WinG. Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah, I again, just it's like, do I need another subscription to a thing? Like Whisperflow is like $15 a month. Okay, all right, we got our pizza images back. All right, progress. Here we go. We got the logo, local pizza. We got the animation. The margarita pizza looks correct. Pepperoni looks correct. Supreme looks correct. Order now. 15 seconds. All right, that's not bad. I mean, you know, if you had to go and do this and build this out in After Effects or something, it certainly wouldn't take like 3 prompts to get here, or 3 however long we've done this. So we've been on the stream for 40 minutes, and this project started from scratch. And I've never used Remotion. I've just installed this thing in Antigravity and decided we were gonna make a local pizza vertical video for some random shop. So I would say that's pretty cool. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this wanted to put something somewhere, and now it wants to do it again. Okay, we'll just accept it. See if it breaks. Win H. Oh, okay, cool. Accessibility. Yeah, I have to, my audio, I gotta figure out my audio. My audio's been giving me grief, especially yesterday, honestly. I was in a couple meetings and like my audio just dropped. Like on Windows, like it would show, like it would detect, you could see the levels for my input, but it would not, nobody in the meeting could hear me. So, and then okay, see, this thing is just, all right, so I'm not sure what it's doing now, but it put like halos around or borders around the image, around the pizza images. Like that just looks nasty. It was way better before. I don't know why it's putting the border around the pizzas, that like purple line, but it decided that's what it wanted to do. And that's not the vibe. Not the vibe that I want. All right, so it looks like, and again, this might just be a Remotion thing because Antigravity doesn't typically struggle like this. At least not from my experience, limited experience running Antigravity. This thing just wants to keep, it's trying to like debug itself, but it is not doing a great job. The audio stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. See, I don't know what's happening. With the audio. So let me know if you're still here, if you can hear my audio, because it says that the bitrate 0 is 0, which would suggest that my audio isn't working. It's just so funny that we're just talking about audio and it's not working. Hold on. I'm going to unmute the stream real quick, see if I can hear this. Okay. I don't know. It seems to be working. Okay. Are we done? Is this thing done? Okay. Stop. All right. Where are we at? Okay. So I don't know what it still seems to think something's broken, but as far as I can tell, looks okay. Like the animations are running, the sequence seems fine. Timing. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's I don't think there's any audio. So let's see if we can generate some audio somehow. Let's move on to a different task instead of trying to get it to do more of whatever it was trying to do. Let's get it off this thread. All right. What should we do? Let's add some. Thanks, Robot. Appreciate the sound check. Let's add some sound. Let's add some sound. Sometimes my prompts are so basic, but when you're trying to live stream and build stuff at the same time, like, and again, with generally speaking, unless I have a really solid idea of what I want to do for the project, my prompts, and again, as a just I have no idea how Remotion is going to work or how it thinks about these components and anti-gravity. Like what's it going to do? Right now, it's just looking like it went and searched the web for royalty-free Italian Tarantella background music, MP3. So it looks like it's looking for an MP3. Now it's looking for an alternative audio source. And now it's generating something. So let's see what it does. I don't know where it's going to get the music. I don't know if it's going to it's going to generate its own track, which I imagine it could do. Or we can just use 11 Labs or something. But I don't have, I should just hook up the 11 Labs MCP to this thing if I haven't already. I don't know if I have. I think I just been using standard API, like local ENV API keys. Okay, so this thing did something. It uploaded it to, it looks like it's going to try to get this thing off of Wikimedia. All right. Air Force Band. Okay. So it didn't like whatever, oh no, it's doing something. A curl failure. All right, so it's going to install, looks like some media package for Remotion. And I don't even know if I installed Remotion correctly, but it seems to be running, not without difficulties. But I think that's more anti-gravity than a Remotion issue. All right, so now it's editing the pizza menu. Let's just see what's happening with the app. All right. Okay, so I see the audio file. You can actually see the audio file down here. But it doesn't look like it's been added yet. And this thing is still working away. Editing the menu again. Why? Well, oh, it's editing the component. Okay, so it's not editing the actual menu. Let's see what it's thinking about. All right, so it's validated. All right. Okay, so we've got a live Tarantella background music track to the video. Set it to play throughout. Fade out smoothly during the last couple of seconds. You should hear it now if you preview the player. If the player was open, you might need to refresh the page to pick up the track. All right, so well, at least it's done now. At least it didn't go into debug mode again. All right, let's see. Let's reload this on localhost and see if there's actual track. I don't know. I don't know if there's actual audio on this thing. I don't hear anything. And it broke the pizzas again. So as is with the nature of vibe coding, you try something and then something else fails. All right, so let's just say, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's just take a screen capture. I'm just gonna go full screen on this real quick. I'm just gonna grab this and say, look, this is where we're at, buddy, and it's not great. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's toss this back up on the main. I just grabbed a screenshot and I'm going to say, I'm going to say, wait, hold on, let me get this back. All right, you're going to go to the right. You're going to stay in the middle. Oh, now that, hold on. Okay, the pizzas are back. I just don't hear any music. Unless I'm tripping. No. Okay, so I can see the file, but I don't hear it. Okay. I see the audio file, but it's not playing or doesn't appear to be present in the timeline. All right, what's happening? It's validating source again. Let's see if we can find it actually in the assets. So it's not even in the assets. It's listed. Okay, I don't see it in the assets. So the pizza images are in the assets. So the pizza images over here, right? In public assets. So those are our assets. I would expect that like the audio file should be in here, and that's probably why it's not playing. It's referenced in the pizza menu, but it is not actually loading up in Remotion. So I think what I'll do is, if I can get the audio working, then I think we're coming up on an hour for the stream. So I just wanted to see if I can get Remotion working, and we have. Now it's just, in the weeds again. All right, so it looks like it's going to try to pull a file from, it's doing an import request, get request. It's missing something. So it looks like it's trying to download the file from the source online. We'll see how much luck Antigravity has with that. But that seems like the issue. It seems like it's sourcing it, it wrote it, it added it to the Remotion timeline, but it's probably pointing to a file that doesn't exist, if I had to guess. Okay. Accept away. Let's just open this. I'm going to open this widget over here. Oh, stream health. Okay. All right. Let's try to find another file. Honestly, this would be easier with 11 Labs. We could just create an audio file for pizza, but let's just see how much luck this will have, like pulling something off the web. Because then that gives me other ideas. Okay, see, so it's got a 404. Like probably hallucinated the URL, and then the URL doesn't even exist. Okay, now it wants me to parse the page. We're gonna say yeah. Sure. Go ahead. Downloading the music. Let's see. All right. It looks like it's attached to something. I'm not sure if there's a model for, oh, we got some audio. Okay, making progress. I'm not sure if there's an audio model from Google. Actually, there is an interesting audio model from Google, but it's not. That might be good for another stream, because I do have an interesting project for that. All right, so it said it's downloaded Bushwick Tarantella by Kevin McLeod to the project, added it to local assets. Okay, so this is what I was expecting to see, I guess, is it show up over here in the assets folder. So under public assets, this file didn't exist before. So it thought it downloaded the track, but it didn't, and it wasn't in the assets. So I saw it on the timeline, but it wasn't where it needed to be. All right, so let's throw up, let's see if we got some audio. So here we actually have, I can see the track up here on the top. It's actually got green, whereas before it was just blank. There was no actual, nothing in the editor on the timeline below. An actual like file reference. So let's see. Okay. All right. It's not terrible. It's kind of amusing. Pacing's a little slow, but if it's just a menu thing, like it's not a hype video. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here to do some things. So a bit buggy, but you know, like whatever, like we figured it out. Antigravity, I think more buggy than anything else, just in terms of like it trying to sort itself out. But just the idea that you can build this kind of stuff on the fly. I mean, we're like under an hour in the stream and we created a vertical content video for a fictional local pizza joint. And then this would just render out, I think you just render this as, just export. Let me just render this real quick. Sure. What does this want to do? H.264. Yeah, so this is just standard, like, you know, output settings for video. All right, let's just complete the process, shall we? Let's render the video. All right, so it says pizza menus, downloading the headless shell, it's bundling stuff. And this is all just specific to Remotion. It's rendering it. It looks like it's rendering the frames, 15 seconds. Just to get a sense of like how long this will take. So it was, I think it was a 15-second total video. It's rendering 500. I think probably frames. Okay, we can actually see it in terminal doing its thing over here. So it outputted a 9 megabyte file to somewhere. Where did it put it? Where did it put the MP4? Out MP4 file editor. Where are you? Oh, it's got a separate out file. So it put it here in out. So it's not in the assets anymore. It's just like, it looks like it's just a place where it stores this stuff. And here's our MP4. It's kind of catchy. I don't know if it's royalty-free music or what, but I'm not mad at it. All right, so I think we'll call the stream for now. Just wanted to capture this moment. Also test the vertical format on YouTube. And I, the robot, I don't know if you're still around, but curious to know how you found the stream, like on mobile or if you're on desktop or whatever. But this is my first time streaming to YouTube in vertical format. I usually just have like regular landscape setup. So I'm just curious as to like distribution wise, like where the live streams show up, if they're on shorts or where on YouTube exactly vertical stream content shows up. You know, because otherwise I'll just go back to streaming landscape content. But the idea is honestly that I can repurpose some of this content in this format and redistribute it on socials. And if it's already in a vertical format, like the video that we just produced, then the easier it is to cut it up and do those kinds of things. Getting off topic, but I'm going to call it, we're just at an hour on the stream. I, the robot. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for chatting, and thanks for the tip regarding the accessibility issue. Good luck with Antigravity on your own machine. Hopefully it hangs. It's doing fine on my machine, and it's a mid at best gaming PC from like 4 years ago. So, all right, that's it. I'm gonna keep playing with Remotion. In the meantime, sub if you haven't. If anybody sees this down the road, follow me here or elsewhere, wherever I may be, and we'll keep plugging away. Keep vibing, I guess. All right, peace.